Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When the Dallas Cowboys pulled off this trade for George Pickens, I didn't need no film, no analytics, no numbers off no spreadsheet. I saw vision. I saw a plan. I saw a front office that said, "We done messing around. So sit back, get you a protein shake, grab some popcorn, 'cause Uncy Shannon bout to walk y'all through how Jerry Jones and them boys might have just pulled off the heist of the NFL offseason. You don't walk into at&T Stadium unless you're ready for the lights. And George Pickens, oh, he built for it. The boy, been theatrical since his Georgia days, but now he walking into a star-studded locker room with no 88 wearing CD Lamb's name. And a quarterback in Dak Prescott, who knows pressure like the back of his hand. The Cowboys needed something special. Yeah, well, Torrich ain't just a star. JD ain't just a star. Michael Gallup couldn't be that guy no more. Brandon Cooks, serviceable. But that dog, that alpha, that dude who gon' put fear into a secondary even when covered, that's George Pickens. Now let me paint y'all a picture. Two high-octane receivers, both under 27. One, a route-running savant, CD. The other, a jump ball alien Pickens. Add in speed burners around them, and Tony Pollard's replacement in the backfield. And what you got? You got offensive gravity. Defenses won't know which way is up. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Say, why did the Steelers let him walk? Well, baby, that's business. Pittsburgh ain't never been shy about moving on from receivers. Ask Antonio Holmes, Mike Wallace, or even Abby. But George Pickens wasn't a problem. He was a mismatch. You had a young, raw Kenny Pickett trying to hit a deep ball specialist with inconsistent protection and a run-first mentality. The moment that system couldn't maximize Pickens, he became expendable. Enter Jerry Jones. The Cowboys said, "We ain't just trying to draft and hope. We trying to win." So they gave up a third and a fifth. A third and a 27 fifth? For a guy who can give you 1,300 yards and 9 TDs in year one, Dallas? Man, that ain't a trade. That's a straight-up robbery. They didn't just steal a receiver. They stole a future Pro Bowler in a contract year. Let me tell you something, dog. You don't ever bet against a baller in a contract year. That man's playing for generational wealth. George Pickens is making $3.65 million this year. But next March, that man trying to sign for $80 million over 4 or 5 years. He knows every yard, every catch, every highlight could mean millions on the table. And what better stage than Dallas? The lights, the cameras, the pressure. Some players fold. Pickens, no. He a movie. And the tape gon' roll every Sunday. With the Cowboys' speed, spacing, and playbook, he ain't got to carry the offense. He just got to do him. And that means winning 50-50 balls like they 80-20, taking top corners and exposing Ian deep, high-pointing fades like he pulling rebounds in the NBA. He's not just covered. He's dangerous while covered. That's what the AFC exec said. And trust me, them scouts ain't saying that lightly. Let's give flowers to Osei Brian Schottenheimer. You see, George Pickens ain't just walking into a wideout room. He's stepping into a new system. That could scare a lot of receivers. But not Pickens. Coach said he shows up with a smile, ready to work. That tells me two things. He humble enough to learn. He hungry enough to dominate. Shotty gon' scheme him open. He's not gonna leave him out to dry on go routes all day. No, they gon' use him across the middle. They gon' stack him behind Lamb. They might even run him out the slot when defenses ain't ready. This ain't no throw it up and pray situation anymore. This is design, spacing, anticipation. George Pickens in the lab now. When he learns how to cook with precision. Lord have mercy. Y'all want to know how you really know this trade was special? When rival coaches in the NFC East start whispering unprompted, yo, that Pickens move might shift the whole dynamic. Unseed got a laugh at that. You see, when opposing coaches saying that in June, they know they gonna have problems in December. Now imagine you a DC with the Eagles or Commanders. You game planning for CD Lamb already. You worried about Dak on play action. and suddenly you see Pickens lined up on your CB too? That ain't fair. That's a mismatch buffet. And don't let him get off to a hot start early in the season, because if George Pickens start feeling himself, he don't just want a Pro Bowl. He want a contract and a legacy. You know who don't get enough credit? Jerry Jones. People want to clown him for past decisions, but Jerry playing chess now. You look at the three moves. Kaya Allen from Buffalo, CB with upside, Joe Milton III from New England, QB with tools, and now George Pickens. That's called a strategy. You targeting young, high-ceiling players still on rookie deals. You ain't paying top dollar. You ain't overextending the cap. You grabbing lottery tickets that already showed potential. And in Pickens' case, this ain't no scratch-off. This man who's already produced 2,800 D yards in 3 years on a run-heavy team with shaky QB play. Jerry ain't buying hope. He buying firepower. Let's break this down for the fantasy heads and film nerds. CeeDee Lamb last season. Top-tier route runner. Always gets open. George Pickens, one-on-one monster. Double him. And you leaving Lamb wide open. Play zone. You give Pickens seams to attack. So who you gonna double? Who you gonna bracket? You ain't got enough defenders to deal with both. This might be the best duo in league outside of Tyreek and Waddle, or Chase and Higgins. But even then, Pickens got that dog in him. He want to prove he better than all the... And now, he got the platform to do it. Now let me show love to my dog Dak. He's been doubted, picked apart, questioned. But when you give him weapons, that man produces. 2021 had Cooper, Lamb, Gallup. 4-4, 49 yards, 37-10, 2023. Just Lamb and Scraps still made it work. Now, he got a healthy line, a dual threat receiving cores, and motivation in a contract year of his own. That's a perfect storm. This season is set up for Dak to prove he can win big in January. And George Pickens might just be the X factor that finally puts him over the top. So what do I think? I think this trade was a masterclass. I think George Pickens gonna have a career year. I think Jerry Jones just made a move that can get this team to the NFC Championship game at minimum. I think defensive coordinators around the league already losing sleep. And if you ain't convinced yet, you will be by week 4 when Pickens got 3 TDs and 400 yards already in the bag. So, you'll mark my words. This wasn't just a trade. This was a statement. And if George Pickens keeps his head straight, keeps grinding, and taps into that top 10 ability, the rest of the league gonna be looking back like, how did we let the Cowboys do this? Y'all stay tuned. Untout.